Jesus freak here. Now, just before I walked out, I was talking with one of my friends about mask mandates. Apparently, some places are saying that, not just any mask is good enough. You need, N95. And I'm like, first they said, you need a mask. And then they said, not just any mask, you need a 2-ply mask. And then they said, 2-ply mask isn't good enough. You need an N95. And I'm like, where does it end? Are they going to say that an N95 isn't good enough and we all need to be running around in gas masks? I said, at what point do we realize that we've gotten ourselves on a paranoia treadmill? And to some extent, I blame the media. They do this every time there's some new bug going around. I remember, probably about 15 years ago, the whole thing, they were talking about a new strain of influenza. And they were like, they talked about it, and everyone suddenly had this visceral reaction, like, oh, swine flu. Ah! It's like, get some perspective. I'm not saying that people don't get the flu. I'm not saying that people don't get very sick from the flu. I'm not saying that it doesn't kill people. And I'm not saying any of the same things about COVID either. What I'm saying is get some perspective. We're all freaking out and running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And it's not going to get us anywhere. We see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then all of a sudden everyone's freaking out because they heard about some variant that they called Deltacron because it was like a mix of a Delta and Omicron. Guess what it was? Contaminated lab samples. It's like, get some perspective and don't freak out before you're familiar with what's going on. But that's the problem. The media wants us to freak out because they have a vested financial interest. Big Pharma, they got a vested financial interest in this too. Everyone's got an interest. Follow the money, But let's just get real here, okay?
Wait. Berry Avenue.
We can't spend the rest of our lives afraid of our own shadows because the media is telling us about this new disease or new variant or whatever. At some point,
wait.
We need to live our lives. Jesus freak out.